numerical keys, as they're referred to in PHP. But PHP actually allows us to access those elements using string keys, okay? And here's how this works. I'm going to teach you the two ways, because the first way you need to learn is how to make a string or numerical key. We'll learn about that in a sec as well. How to assign that string key in the actual array function, and also how to assign it when you're assigning outside the array function after the array has been created, like so. So to create the key value pair, that's what they're called, in the array function argument list, all we have to do is type the key like we've done here. So the key for the for this element in the array will be cow, okay? And remember, it's case sensitive, so it's cow with a capital C. Okay, and then we type an equals and a greater than sign right next to each other to say this key refers to this value, okay? So that equals and then greater than says connect this key to whatever value I put after it, and the value in this case is milk, so cow milk. Now, outside of the array, how do we do this? Well, it doesn't, I mean, for me, I think this looks a bit more complicated. I prefer to look at it in this way, but you know, that's totally your choice. This is, of course, the easier way to do it if you're if you know all the elements and you can assign to them when you make that array. So by all means use this, but yeah, that's all I'm saying. So we know how to do it in the array function. We type the key, then we type the equals and the greater than to connect that to the value which we type after. Okay. To assign outside, we simply do it sort of like we did here. We type the array name, we type the square brackets, see the square brackets, and then we type the key between the square brackets. Then we type equals, and then we type cheese, or, well, sorry, not cheese. We type whatever we want the value to be, of course. So again, the array name, square brackets, the key, the equals, and then the value that we want to be assigned to that key. Okay. So here I'm just demonstrating accessing those elements. I'm accessing the first element by although in this case it's not really the first element, because we've used string keys. Actually, that's something I'll test out, but yeah, just for the moment they don't really have any order because we've used string keys as opposed to numerical keys, which of course do have an order. I mean, they will have an order, but as far as PHP sees it at the moment, it doesn't really have an order. Anyway, accessing the first element, we type the array name, we type the square brackets, and then we type the key. And in this case, rather than typing a number, we have the string cow with a capital C. And the same goes for goat. Remember, it's case sensitive, okay? And let's see if this worked. Hopefully it should output milk and cheese. So save, refresh, milk and cheese. There we go. Okay. So we now know how to choose our own string keys, but we can also do the same with numerical keys. We don't have to stick to the default 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can say 10, 2, 100, 7, 70, you know, we can go all around the place. It's however we choose. And to do that, it's exactly the same as in the array function. We just type the key, the numerical key in this case, the equals and the greater than, and then the value. And notice I'm using a numerical key to a string value, okay? And then it's the same as with assigning outside the array function. We type the name, the square brackets, the key, which in this case is numerical. You can see I've gone from 5 to 50 because we're allowed to do that. PHP allows us to do that. It's really cool. And then you type the value. Just so you know, I wouldn't recommend going all over the place, because it's easier to remember you know, from 0 to 5 than to remember 5, 50, 25, 72, you know, whatever. So generally you want to stick to the what's it called? The incrementing values that PHP gives you by default, unless you have some special reason to use this. By all means, it's a very good idea to use string keys, because using string keys, it's very good. I mean, the brain works well having like these sort of keys to assign to different values. So this is a good idea. Using string keys is a great idea. Using incremental numerical keys is a good idea as well. And one last point on the numerical key inside the array function, just so you know. If you type this first key and then you assign it some value, and then the second argument you don't give a key, what PHP will actually do is say, okay, the last key was 5, this one has no key, so I'm going to increment from the last key by 1. So what's actually going to happen is James is going to have the numerical key 5, Matthew will have 6, Michael will have 7, and then here I've decided to go up to 20, so Joshua will have 20, and then Orson will have 21 because it goes from here, okay? And then here I've just added in 50 to demonstrate that basically. Now one thing I just want to test is see if we can use numerical and string keys in the same array. Let's try this. 50 we'll say. Sorry guys, bear with me, I just really want to try this out. And it was position 5. Let's see if this works. And it does. So you can have string values, you can have numerical values, you can have Boolean values as the values, and you can have string and numerical values, string and numerical keys all in the same array. Just so you know, you can't really use Boolean values as a key. I mean, we can try it. I don't think it will work though, for obvious reasons. Actually, it still works, but not a good idea to try that one. I'm really surprised at that, actually, I must say. Anyways, guys, let's move on. Oh yeah, let's see if this worked. So we're outputting index 5, 6, 7, 20, 21, and 50. Okay, save, refresh. James, Matthew, Michael, Joshua, Orson, Chris. Okay, so that worked out. Now the final thing I just want to show you is if you want to create an array, with numerically incrementing list of numbers. So say you want to create an array with the numbers 1 to 1000. You don't want to have to type out all those numbers either in the array function or doing it singly, you know. You can save yourself the stress by using the range function. Okay, so all we have to do is type the array name equals, and then we don't type array, instead we type the range function, and this actually might still not be, I think it's range is still a class, I'm not sure though. There are several ways it could be done actually, so I'll check that up for you guys, but it could either be a class or it could be a function, I'm not sure. But anyway, you don't type array, you type range, and that will create an array, okay? So you don't need to worry that typing range is going to give you some weird result. The range function / class creates an array for you with the numbers from whatever the first argument is to the second argument, okay? So in this case, it's going to create an array with the numbers 1 to 100. And here I'm just accessing the element at index 46, which should give 47, because remember, we have that 0 offset. Let's give this a shot, and voila, 47. Okay, so that concludes the tutorial, guys. Next tutorial, we're going to be looking at walking through arrays, okay? Really cool thing to do, and you'll be using that a lot in PHP. So, any questions, leave a comment, you know the drill. Anyways, guys, over and out.